I think I'm done playing.
Hi. Lately, I have been feeling that we don't have as much time in life on earth like we believe to have, like we would want to have. And I was feeling those things, and I borrowed this book called The Opposite of Loneliness. The Opposite of Loneliness by Marina Keegan. And this collection is it's a compilation of short stories and essays, fiction and non-fiction. So Marina Keegan was this Yale graduate who was this scholar, star kid, and all-rounder genius, and she was going to work at the New York Times as an assistant editor, but 5 days after her graduation she died in a car crash, and she had written the title essay, The Opposite of Loneliness, for her college magazine, and then it got picked up by the New York Times and it got really viral I don't think viral was the term back then, but it got really popular back in 2012. And so I picked up this book thinking that it would talk about loneliness or how to deal with loneliness and topics like that. But Marina actually talks about the feeling you feel when you are not lonely. She talks about the comfort of a community, a comfort that she found in college. But that's not what my point here is. But my point here is that her writing, of course, it is not perfect. Of course, she died before she could even publish. This was compiled by her parents and her professor at university. And the professor also writes that Marina would have never let this collection be published because she was such a perfectionist. So her writing, you can make out that it's written by a 20-year-old. Some of these essays are also back from her high school. But what I felt, I resonated with her story. And also I will let me read to you the epithet. I'm not sure what this is called, but it's from her poem called Bygones, and she writes, do you want to leave soon? No, I want enough time to be in love with everything, and I cry because everything is so beautiful and so short. I found this really beautiful. I did listen to her stand-up. It's her open mic of this poem, Bygone, on YouTube. I was sort of googling her and trying to find out things about her. So reading her book, I realized the importance of time. I always feel that, okay, for some things I feel that, oh, I have a lot of time in life and I will get to do that, and let me just postpone that thing for later. Oh, I can write my book tomorrow. Why should I? I'm tired today. I can call that friend tomorrow. I'm tired today. And reading this book, I realized the urgency of doing the things that we want to do in the moment and not leave it for later, because the later is not guaranteed. So I realized I mean, of course, these things we know these things, but we just don't reflect on them often. So reading The Opposite of Loneliness made me aware of time and how it slips away from us, and how we should be making use of our now and not our tomorrows, not think about our tomorrows, and not think much about our yesterdays, but be present in the moment and do the things that we want to do in the moment. I think I struggle with that a lot, like most people, but that's something that the urgency of the now, I think I've been thinking about that a lot these days, after having read Marina's book, because she was this brilliant kid who had a future ahead of her, a more brilliant future ahead of her, but we don't have, Marina did not have guarantee of the future. We all want to, and her writing, her fiction and non-fiction also, is very hopeful. That's what makes it sad, because we know in retrospect that she's dead, but her writing is so very hopeful. Of course, like any angry teenager, her writing does talk about things that are relevant and that are political, and I could see myself, I could resonate with her writing, and of course I think that's the beauty of her writing. I won't discredit her writing at all, but I could see a young person being hopeful for a future that she never had. But as a reader, as an outsider, Marina speaks to the reader. Marina's writing touches you, I feel. I mean, it definitely did impact me, especially made me think about the uncertainty of life, and the future not being guaranteed, and how I should be writing that novel now. I should be traveling. I mean, now I should not be I should be calling my friend now. I should be crocheting now, or whatever I want to be doing, then I should be doing now. And I think all of us have this fear, the fear of not just missing out, but also fear of living, because we try to make things perfect and we wait for something to be perfect. But again, that perfection is not guaranteed, neither is tomorrow. And yeah, so I have been thinking about that a lot, and kind of reflecting about that, about life, about the urgency of the now. And yeah, not in an existential way, not in a hopeless way, but rather in a hopeful way. And I do appreciate the beauty of life, even if it does anger me and sadden me to know that there are people suffering in this world, whereas I am so blessed and so privileged to be here. But there are wars happening, there are children dying, there are people being slaughtered like animals. I am aware of those things, and it makes me feel blessed. It does make me think, it does make me there's also, I feel, a guilt somewhere that I feel for being blessed in life. I don't know, it's complex. I cannot explain that feeling. But anyhow, for today, I just wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about the fear of living, because we wait for perfection, which I think is dumb and stupid. And I'm telling these things to myself because I mean, even if I realize that the tomorrow is not guaranteed, I do wait for a tomorrow. But anyhow, maybe it's time for me to do things today and now, and not wait for tomorrows to come by, because you never know. You never know. So yeah, that's what I wanted to, that's what I had in mind today. A little probably a little existential, but I just had to. And if anybody is interested, you can read. I picked it up from our university library. The Opposite of Loneliness: Essays and Stories by Marina Keegan. I really love the book.